Hi there, it's Kevin with Gone Rogue Games, here with our box open video because my buddy Garito Burrito is coming down this weekend and we are going to play some Lorcana. So, he doesn't mind me just opening this product first and seeing what it is so we can see the first look at Rise of the Floodborn from Disney Lorcana, and we're going to jam some games this weekend. And I'll tell everyone how I like this set. See if there's some interesting cards to kind of brew around and play with. And again, I got mixed feelings about Lorcana. I think it's a fine game. It's not necessarily my cup of tea. I think it's fun to play a few games, brew a few decks, but then it gets insanely old with the gameplay. And feel free to disagree with me. That's just, to each his own. Tomato, tomato. I guess tomato, tomato is not the right expression here. Excuse the tippity-tappities in the back with the dogs trying to come in and see what I'm doing. It is Boring Dogs. I'm just opening up some Lorcana. So we got the starter decks. Unfortunately, got like no booster boxes. So I don't know what's up with this distributor. I am getting more from the other distributor for booster boxes. But we got the Illumineer's Trove that does have packs in it. We do have the starter decks that have a pack in it, I believe. And we have this collector's edition that's going for like $9 million online, and it's ridiculous. I don't know why this collector's thing is going for so much, because it's just got some signed cards. But I mean, it's not really collectible if it's mass produced. I mean, these aren't really mass produced, but I mean, I was allocated more of these than booster boxes, so I am not sure. So let's just start with the starter decks. This time they only did two. So with the starter decks, all we had were the Amethyst Steel and the Amber Sapphire. So for the people that are into Emerald, you do not get a starter deck. And so the showcase cards with these ones are going to be, okay, this one's called Might and Magic, and this one's called Tactical Teamwork. So the Tactical Teamwork is trying to use Gaston to plan ahead for the way for teams of determined amber glimmers like the Queen and the commanding presence of the Seven Dwarfs to ink and create formidable partnerships or something. I don't know. That's the description of these decks. Who knows? Who knows in this one? This is going to be Merlin and Tiana. And Princess and Kronk are in here as well. So let's go ahead and check these out and see what they're like. Again, I have played a bit of Lorcana. I know how it plays out. So I'm not a noob when it comes to Lorcana. I've played enough games. We did League here. It lasted about a month before people got tired and bored of it. And again, I think the main reason why the Lorcana wasn't able to really be played over time here is there just wasn't product for people that actually wanted to play. So I saved all the starter decks, and people did have starter decks, but I mean, if you just have starter decks, you can't really upgrade them. It gets kind of old after a while for playing those over and over. So these have little lore counters again in here. You can make a little, doesn't this like make something? I can't remember how you put these things together. And it will have a little playmat for beginners to help them start the game with little quick rules. And we'll do the pack second. Let's go ahead and, I gotta sneeze, so I apologize if I sneeze on camera here. Fall allergies are getting me. We'll go ahead and look what's in these suckers as I zoom in, not that far in. So we can get rid of my ugly mug here, unless you guys want to see my ugly mug. Should we keep it open or not? People say, it's more personal, Kevin, when you show your ugly mug. So, okay, we can get my facial expressions. Everyone can see my beautiful Irish face here. All right, so we have good old Merlin. Merlin is a rare, so the foil rare is going to be worth absolutely nothing out of this set, as it is in all the starter decks. And whenever one of your other characters return to your hand from play, this character gets +1. So it helps you like bounce. So this is a bounce strategy. It's kind of cool. So if you can actually combo on a turn to bounce a lot of your other creatures, then you can get a lot of lore to be had on like one turn. I know that there is some strategies with Amethyst for doing things like returning stuff. Then we have Tiana, which is the ultra rare, I don't know, super rare. I can't remember the rarity you need, like rare, super rare, ultra rare, whatever it is. 1, 2, 3. So the silver rare, bronze rare, silver rare, gold rare. We'll call it that from now on. We have a resist 2 damage, deals this character reduced by 2. And while this character is exerted, and that's actually pretty good because damage stacks on cards, so it never heals like magic. And so this will, reduce all those the sword that does 2 damage to everything. So yeah, it actually can go in those decks because you won't even kill your own stuff. And while this character is exerted and you have no cards in your hand, opponents can't play actions. So if you have no cards in hand and it's exerted, your players cannot play actions. Okay, and actions are what in this game? Well, I'm not thinking what actions are. Actions just the tap ability, the exert ability on cards. So this can actually lock people out of trying to... so I guess you could still challenge creatures, and you can still quest, but using their activated abilities, I think is what this means, is going to be inactive while I have no cards in hand. So there you go. So there's the 2 chase cards out of the starter decks. And we have Chip the Teacup. Chip the Teacup. So we got 3 of these. And Dr. Facilier. So are these all going to be new cards too? I don't know if they are going to reprint cards from the older set or if these are just going to be brand new cards from all of them. So we kind of generic cards here for a 4/2 for 4 and a 2/2 for 1. So is this the first one that Amber gets, the 2/2 for 1? Because each color seems to have these. These are, you know, they're like a bear in Magic. They do what you want to do. They come out and can challenge things for cheap. They can start to quest early. So they typically do see play, especially if they go into other cards. So we have Dr. Facilier, which is a little bit awkward, the 4/2. This is very generic of a card for 4 lore and a 4/2. So it's good at hitting some things. We got Hi, or Hey, which is a 2/1 for 2. And when this character is banished in a challenge, return this card to your hand. So I don't think this works, though, because it's banished, and then this says whenever one from play to your hand. So I don't know if these two work. I wonder if judges have ruled that banish is still considered, you know, goes banished from a challenge and then returns your hand, so it does trigger Merlin. If so, there's a combo right there with the Hey. So again, Lorcana's really cool with that aspect of the game where there is a lot of synergies, and I really like it. Like it really itches or scratches that magic itch of finding synergies and combos. It does a very good job of doing so. But I mean, not having the stack is a big deal breaker for me. So I like the interaction of games that do have kind of back and forth in the stack and interaction on a that sort of kind of play, because it brings a whole another aspect of bluffing and holding up mana, that kind of stuff that I really like about it. So you get 3 of these suckers. I did watch a video of people doing spoilers, and they thought that this card was definitely a sleeper because one of the things in Lorcana is card advantage, because this is a very big resource game. A lot of the games come down to who can manage their resources better, and cards that have renewable persistence, like the persistence presence, hey, they can grind through some games. So it does, you know, in a challenge. So if it gets banished, not in a challenge, it's gone. But yeah, this is something that can challenge things, go back to your hand, challenge things, go back to your hand. Pretty cool card. All right, we have the Cuzco. When this character is banished, you draw a card. So there you go. You can banish and draw a card. And that's actually kind of cool because you can use resources of banishing your own cards as a resource, as well as if they're banished to a challenge or other things, you just draw a card. So another decent little card there for the Cuzco. We get 3 of them. And then Madam Mim. When you play this character, banish her, or return another chosen character of yours to your hand. Okay, so there we go with this one. There's a little synergy with the Merlin, is when you play this one, you can return another creature. So, of course, it's pretty good with any ETB effect. Enter the battlefield, or in this case, enter play effect. I think they call it ETP in this game, because there's no battlefield. So, and it's got Rush. You can challenge the turn it comes in, which is actually pretty good. And you get 1 of those. And then you get a common version of the Madam Min, which allows you to, when you play this character, banish her or return another chosen character to her. So it does the same thing with the, I don't know why they didn't call it the same thing. It's the exact same abilities. When you play this character, banish her, return the chosen character. That's weird how they use like different, okay, because it's called Chasing the Rabbit, so it shifts the text over. I'm like, why is it not on the same lines? But I don't know why they call it Just You Wait and Chasing the Rabbit when it's the same. Okay. Because I guess it's referencing something in the movies or story or whatever. Okay, whatever. We have, and Madam Mim's a fox here and a snake here. So I wonder if snake types and fox types will ever matter in this game. So it's a shapeshifter, apparently. I don't even know what this is from. I'm not the biggest Disney fan. So that's an easy way to bounce something. Yeah, and they can banish her or return another chosen character. So you have to either return something or banish something. So these will really work well with ETB effects or anything that triggers off of something being banished, because that's a way you can actually make it work. We have the Merlin. Whenever you play this character and he leaves the play, chosen character is +3. Got a couple of those. Again, it works off the bouncing things, and whenever you play this character, when you play this character and when he leaves play, you gain a lore. So there we go. Now we're getting this little bouncing, banishing strategy that's working with the Merlin goats. And Merlin's also a shapeshifter, huh? So Madam Mim and Merlin are shapeshifters. So it's a crab and then a goat, and the shapeshifter for the other one. And yeah, that's cool. So they work off their own Merlins. And I believe you can play Merlins into Merlins, can't you? By shifting them, or isn't that the... Or they have to have shift as part of their ability. I can't remember how it works with Lorcana. And now we have Merlin as a rabbit with a hoppity hip. When you display this card and when you least play, you may draw a card. So wow, you're getting a lot of value with these. So I'm liking how this deck works for sure. Look before you leap when you play this character, and when you least play, look at the top card of your deck and put it either on top or bottom. So decent one that comes out, get some sort of value. Freeze can just exert a character, which is actually good. So these, you can't really sleep on these ones. At first I didn't think exerting was that great to exert stuff, but then if you have ways to challenge them, that's where these come into play good. You have I'm Stuck. Okay, so this is action. Duh. If they can't play actions, actions are a type of card. I haven't played Lorcana in a while. Please forgive me. Choose exerted character, can't ready at the start. Chosen exerted character can't ready at the start of their next turn, so it just taps it down for their turn. So Freeze and I'm Stuck can actually lock things down for a turn, but it costs you 2 cards. We got the Beast, the Forbidden Recluse. When you play this character, you may deal 1 damage to a chosen character, so it's got a decent bounce effect, I guess. And when we have Benja, when you play this character, you may banish a chosen item. So that's pretty good. So this used to be a Beast ability in the other game, and this comes out a whole turn earlier. So it doesn't have as good stats, but it actually has good lore stats. This card will definitely see play, because there are items that are problematic and that you need to get rid of, and it's a whole turn early that you can get the Benja out. So that card will see play. We have Cinderella. When you play this character, you may draw a card and then choose and discard a card. So good. There we go. There's another ETB flicker type effect. I'm really loving this deck. So Cinderella's also got some decent stats. And what's really cool about this too is you can draw the card and then ink it later when it's like off curve. So pretty cool. Ellie LaBeouf. Not to be confused with Shia LaBeouf, my favorite character, Disney character. We have a 2/5, just kind of a body. And then we have Hercules, kind of a, pretty terrible body there. So hero in training, unless you can be able to shift Hercules into something else. We got Kronk, has a resist to 1, and then during your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you need to deal 2 damage to a chosen character. So it's almost got like the Tinkerbell ability on this here, but not really the ETB effect. Same cost, a little bit worse stats. So there's a budget version to Tinkerbell. While this character has no damage, he gets +4, so it can hit something once. Pretty good lore person, though, with Lawrence. And we also have Lilo. And we have this. Did we see this card before? I swear this is the exact same Lilo existed in the last one. I'm not sure. Yeah, Prince Eric. So so there are reprints in this for sure. There are reprints because Prince Eric, 1000%, this Prince Eric did exist in the other set. So this did see a lot of play, by the way. Prince Eric was one of the premier 2-drops to help challenge the fast aggro decks. And then we have Prince Naveen, just kind of a body. The Huntsman, pretty fast lore for 2. And then whenever this character quests, you may draw a card, then choose and discard a card. Okay, this card's actually super cool because I have been looking for loot type effects. And this one's actually, a really good loot effect. So it is 2, takes a little while out. Hopefully you can get 2 lore out of it. And so you draw a card, discard a card, and then can set up your discard pile to then use as a renewable resource. That one's kind of cool. We have the Prince, who never gives up. Has the Bodyguard ability, so pretty quick Bodyguard to come out. Resist with Bodyguard, which is pretty cool. And then also has the 2 questing. Tiana, the Diligent Waitress. 1/3. We've seen these kind of cards before. Get 3 of them in the last cannon, which is an item. So I'm super excited for this because I need items in steel color or in Sapphire. So banish this item, chosen character gains challenge 3 until end turn. That's actually not bad because you can actually turn your Mickey Mouses into things that can challenge things. So Last Cannon actually might see play in my item deck that I'm trying to make work. So this is kind of a cool card here. And then speaking of another item, we have the Mouse Armor. And this item's super cool too because if you just have an Ink It, you just Ink It. And then we have the Mouse Armor, which chosen character gains resist 1 until you're in the next turn. So not the biggest fan of this Mouse Armor here. It's kind of mess. So cool cards there in the deck. And then we'll go on to the next one, and then we'll get to the packs. So we'll open up these and the packs, and we'll go a little bit quicker through the packs as I don't even open this up properly to get the pack out of here. Rookie move. And then we have, out of the Amber and the Sapphire deck, we have got the Queen. The Queen has Shift 2. You may pay, that's how it works, yeah. You may pay 2 to play this on top of one of your characters named the Queen. So you can shift it into the Queen. So you do have to have that ability. You can't just shift in any character that has the same name. Whenever this character quests, the chosen opposing character gets -4 power this turn, and the chosen character is plus power. And whenever this character quests, chosen opposing character gets -4, and chosen character of your choice gets +4. So it helps you then be able to challenge something. So dumb down something and challenge something. Pretty decent. And then we have Gaston, the coolest prince in the whole thing of Disney, the best non-villain character. Gaston is not a villain. The Beast is the villain. Shift 4, you may pay 4 to play this on top of one of your chosen Gastons. So I wonder if there's some Gastons that can come out pretty early. And when you play this character with the top of the card your deck, you may put one in your hand and put the rest on the bottom. So it's got the sleight of hand type ability from Magic the Gathering on a card. And it's got really good ability quest with a whopping 3. And then it also has intellectual powerhouse. That's funny because, yeah, isn't Gaston supposed to be an idiot? So that's what, is it making fun of? Yeah, there's his little drawing. But it does quest for 3. Kind of cool here. Okay, this game is kind of cute. Come on, people that are Lorcana haters. It's not that terrible. Zach. Oh, man, he's so anti this game because he hates Disney. Anyway, pretty cool card there. And then we have Bashful. Oh, gosh. Can't quest unless you have another 7 dwarf character in play. A 4, though, that quest 3, so it comes out quick. Got a nice little body on him. And Christopher Robin. Whenever you ready this character, if you have 2 or more other characters in play, you gain 2 lore. That is pretty sweet. That's pretty easy to make it happen in like a kind of pillow fort type deck. Like we've seen some Sapphire decks that go heavy on healing and defensive. And then Christopher Robin it can start challenging things, and then actually when it gets readied, which is the untap, it can actually get the lore. So ways to get alternative lore is actually quite strong in this game, because also you can sing songs and then ready. Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do with Christopher Robin, and that can kind of be your win condition. By instead of having to quest, you can still use it as a resource to sing or to challenge and keep the board state good and still get lore. So I actually like this card a lot. We got the dock. Whenever this character quests, you may pay 1 for less for the next character you play this turn. So not bad. So quests, and then you can pay less for stuff. Dopey. When this character is banished, your other 7 dwarf characters get +2 until the start of your next turn. There's Gaston. He's Singer 5. What a beautiful man. This character counts as a 5 to sing songs. So a quick singer that comes out on turn 3, which I believe is actually quite strong with a couple Amber cards that have 5-cost singings. I know that there is Amber Steel that does want to do the A Whole New World strategies, or the sword. What's the sword that does 2 damage to everything? So Gaston's a great way to sing that. The Grand Duke. Your princess, kings, and queen characters get +1. Very quick 2-drop to come out. I mean, it's got the stats of a 1, but I mean, it's fine. Grumpy, the coolest dwarf, because everyone should be grumpy. Your other 7 dwarfs get +1. Get a bunch of those. Happy. Who wants to be happy? Support. When the character, you may add. Kind of a boring little card here. And we have Lefo. I'm actually not liking this deck nearly as much as the other one. It's kind of boring. Kind of a very, very vanilla. If you have a character named Gaston in play, you may pay 1 less. Okay, so it can come out, but I mean, the stats are kind of, I don't know. It comes out late. Get the Sleepy. We're all sleepy. And the play exerted, got good quest thing, I guess, but Got Sneezy. Just gives another Stone Dwarf. You may give chosen character whenever you play this character or another one. You can make something a little bit weaker. I'm not a big fan of this deck. And we got the Snow White. Whenever you play this character, move up to 2 damage from a chosen character. That's actually a pretty powerful ability on a 2/3. And then if you have there's a couple cards whenever they heal damage, they do stuff. So this is going like a healing type deck. And we got the Queen, which is the generic one for 2/2. And then the Painting the Red Roses. Painting the Red Roses. Up to 2 characters get -1 and draw a card. So at least this just draws a card, and you can sing it. So these kind of cards are pretty good because they're renewable. I mean, they replace himself, which is actually super strong in Lorcana. We got Bell, the Inventive Engineer. I believe this is a reprint, if I remember correctly. Whenever this character quests, you may pay 1 less for your next item. So we're kind of the item one. During your turn, this character gains Evasive. It's just an evasive character with Cruella de Vil. The Ram Flaversham. Whenever you play this character and whenever you quest, you may banish one of your items to Drew. That's juicy. I like this card. So you can banish items. So if you have any like ETB effect items or items that just aren't really working that you put out early that were getting something done maybe, and then you can banish it whenever you play and when it quests, you can banish one to draw 2 cards. And it can be an engine. You can turn those little 1-drop items into ways that can then get your card advantage. So kind of cool. Kind of cool with the 1/6 body. So yep, and he wants to quest, not like a lot of these times they print these cards. It's like whenever he challenges, and like, yeah, he's a terrible challenger. But this one is wanting to quest. Judy Hops. When you play this character, you may banish a chosen item. Its player draws a card. So again, this can banish your own items or opponent's items. Got a little good questing on it, good stats on it. So not bad at all for getting rid of those, but they do get to draw a card. We got an Aloe. There's our generic one for a 2/2. Like again, they're like bears in Magic the Gathering. The Philoctetes. Whenever this character quests, you may add their chosen to this. Whenever this character quests, you may add their chosen power to a chosen creature. So you quest with this, and then you can challenge with something else. We have the Ward. Opponents can't choose this character except to challenge. So 4 for. There is ward strategies in this game. Winnie the Pooh. Having a think. Whenever this character quests, you may put a card from your hand into your Equal face down. Wow, that's a beautiful ramper with the Winnie the Pooh. And 4 dozen eggs. That's why Gaston is so beautiful. That's how many eggs he eats per day. It is a song you can sing, and your character is going to resist 2 until the start of your next turn. So this can actually set up against the sword that you can then sing. We have Launch. Banish chosen item of yours to deal 5 damage. Okay, this is really cool that we're getting this with Sapphire because this is like now we can start using those really kind of awkward item cards that might run out of steam or not really work, or like there's a bunch of them too, and then you can banish them because then there's one of my favorite cards printed is the crab that then gets item cards back. So the Launch allows you to use your items, they'll go back into your bin, then you can use the renewable resource later on with things like Launch. So I'm really liking the items got supported in Floodborn. We got the Thingborn Cross. The chosen character gets -2 this turn, and then you can banish this item to banish a chosen dragon, and there are some decent dragon characters. So there we go. That might be a good little tech versus the Maleficent. And then we have Gumbo Pot. Remove 1 damage from each from up to 2 chosen characters. It's just a quick one that comes out. It can help with tempo. And the Popsicle. When you play this card, you may draw a card. Okay, so now this one is super good. Okay, this is exactly what item decks need. So now I think item decks are actually viable. Because this is something, when you play it, you draw it. Cool. It just does what you want it to do, then you can banish it to remove 2 damage from a chosen character. So it has its own way to banish itself that you can then replay later on with the cards that get stuff back from your bin. There's a couple of them that were printed out of the last set that do it, especially the crab. That's the one that has a renewable way of using items. And it can be used for those cards that then launch them, like the Popsicle being launched to something, and then, wow. Okay, I hated this deck until I got down into the kind of the item portion of it, and it was really cool. So actually there was components out of this deck, out of the, again, Steel Amber, that I think work really well together. Okay, should we just do the packs? Now we're into packs because we'll do packs all at once because I believe I might keep these starter decks for myself, Garito Burrito, because I do need these for the, like, I want to have one of each ones for the store, just kind of play them out. Who knows? We'll see here. But we'll go ahead and, yeah, we'll just do the packs right now, and I'll set these ones aside. And then these two for you, Garito, if you're okay with me opening these up on camera, that's all good too. So, like I said, I don't know how much of this kind of stuff I want, especially this collector thing. I don't really care about the collector thing. All right, so we have the Fidget, a 3/2 with evasive. We have the I Can Handle It. Whenever you play this character, chosen character is +2. If the chosen character is named Pain, he gets +4 instead with the Panic. James, the role model. I thought it was going to say as a model. I'm like, that guy doesn't look like a model. No abs showing. Come on. You can't be a model without abs. Whenever this character is banished, you may put this card into your Inkwell face down. So we've seen this card before in a 2-drop. This is kind of weird because it's a 4-drop. So it's going to come out very late. It's got kind of lackluster stats, but it can quest okay. We got the Queen, which we've seen that already. The Mallet. Banish this item, chosen character gains Rush. That's actually a kind of cool card too, because Rush can be really good at challenging things and keeping the board state clean. We got Cinderella. When you play this character, you may draw a card, then choose and discard a card. Okay, so this one's cool too, because in that sort of item-based strategy, I wanted to try to go like a loot-based strategy, but now we have items that work as a resource. Maybe that's not as necessary, but I did like Simba. That did a very, very similar ability as a 1-drop, as a 1/2 for 1. So Cinderella is very similar to Simba. And then we have the Caterpillar, which is a very quick way to get 3 questing out. And the Last Stand, banish a chosen character who is challenged this turn. That's kind of cool because you can ban it. You can, especially in like the Amber and Sapphire decks, like again the cards that want to go into your lore, that then can, like the aforementioned one that was like a 1/1 for 2 that then goes into your Inkwell when it is banished. Then you can challenge something and then finish it off with a Last Stand. We have a binding contract. One of your characters exert chosen. Okay, so tap it and tap one of your characters to exert chosen character. So the binding contract. So okay, I get it. And we get a Crisper Robin. We've seen this sucker. When you've read it, if you have 2 or more characters in play, gain 2 lore. Pretty cool. And the Fairy Godmother. So we actually do get a mythic or whatever, the gold rare. We'll call it that. In this set, and this one has shift. You may pay 2 to play this on top of one of your characters named the Fairy Godmother. So if there's a earlier one out, you can get out quicker. Forget the coach. Here's the sword. Whenever this character quests, your characters gain challenge 3, and when this character is banished in a challenge, return this card to your hand this turn. That is cool. So whenever this character is banished in a challenge, return this card to your hand this turn. That's pretty sweet. Yeah. And, okay, so cool. So when it quests 2, it's still going to gain +3 if it's challenged. Okay, whenever this character quests, your characters gain +3, and when they gain +3, and when this character is banished in a challenge, return to your hand. So it's giving other things. That's actually a lot more stronger. I was thinking when this one was banished, it was like a different ability. But yeah, Fairy Grandma, that's actually pretty powerful. And we get a foil rare with the Perplexing Signpost. This is up, this way, this way. Oh, okay, it's a very, very perplexing signpost because you don't know where to go. Banish this item, return chosen character of yours to your hand. That actually works with the starter deck. So the thing is, though, like this is a lot weaker of ability in this game than it would be in like Magic the Gathering because you can't use in response. So it is a good way to like semi-heal your characters or ETB effects. I'm sure it will see play. And I guess this is the art card for this one, as people will assemble them. It's so funny, these suckers sold for a lot while people are trying to finish off their set, and then they went down to nothing. People are crazy for buying into those early. Alrighty, so we have the Tigger. Whenever you play this character gets +2. Whenever you play an action, this character gets +2. We got the Donald Duck. This character goes +2 whenever you play an action, so it did the same thing. We got the Owl. We've seen the Owl. We got the Hold Still. Remove up to 4 damage from a chosen character. Should be a song. This should be a song, but I get it. It's not a song because it's holding still. And then the Fairy Godmother that we can now go into our gold rare. Whenever you play a character named Cinderella, you may exert chosen character, but it works with Cinderella's, but it is a way to shift on earlier. I don't trust him, sire. During your turn, this character gains evasive. They can challenge characters with evasive, so Jafar. And then we have Tiana, which is a pretty good quester, pretty good power. And your characters with reckless gain tap 1 lore. So this, yeah, okay. Your characters with reckless. Okay, so reckless characters typically can't quest. I think. I'm not sure. Gives them a way to do so. Whenever this character quests, you may pay 1 less for your next character. We've seen cards like that. We got the Pinocchio, which is, wow, that is an aggressive card. It just comes out screaming really quick to start questing. So this is a fast way for the Amber decks to start questing. So Pinocchio. Okay, the Grand Duke. We've seen the Grand Duke before because it gives your Prince, Kings, and Queen characters a little bit of a buff. Then we got Panic. We've seen Panic as well. And we get the start of the mini. All right, so this is going to be the longest box open or ever. We'll have to maybe do this for... No, let's do this now. We'll just get to the what is this? The Trove? Do you want to do the Trove first? Let's do the Trove last because the Trove is kind of just booster packs. We want to get through the product here. So this one is going to be the collector's thing. And like I said, this thing was insane when I was looking how much they were going for on TCG Player and on eBay. They're like going in the hundreds for this sucker. So I don't know why I'm cracking it and losing a lot of money here for a YouTube video. But it is what it is. So hopefully you want this Garito Burrito. If not, then whatever patron wants this sucker. We'll just actually, maybe, I don't know, auction this off. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. You think we actually were prepared here? That is like, okay, we're playing like the Russian doll here with like, that is a massive, cool. Look at this massive box that is like making you think you're going to get a lot of stuff. Is it really 4 packs? Did I not read the back of this sucker right? It's just 4 packs in your art cards here. So I wonder, are these semi-randomized or you just always get the same ones here? So we'll go ahead and now look in here. But I love when products do that, where it's like, you're going to get a lot of stuff out of this, and it's like this little tiny thing. It's like 4 packs and like this semi-pack, and these are a little bit curled already. With the Mickey Mouse, glad you're here. Whenever you quest, you may pay 3 less. We got the Elsa. So again, these are like full arts. And these ones exist before. I'm not sure if these are these reprints or are these from the new set or not. So we have Elsa, the gloves off. And we have Genie, Power Unleashed. And we have Stitch, the Abomination. Yeah, Stitch was. Isn't this a reprint? Are these reprints? Yeah, Maleficent. 3/6 for 5. That was just yeah, these are just reprints. And we also have Maui, the Demigod. Yeah, all these are reprints. These are just reprints here. And they always get the same ones? Correct. So you do. You get all the same ones here. These are the ones you get of these full arts. Maybe this is the only way you get these full arts. I believe this was an uncommon. This was a rare, though, I thought. Maybe it wasn't. Anyway, we'll get these in a perfect fit right here before they curl even more, which is kind of sad. It's having the same curling problem with foils that... Of course, all the games are plagued with. That's why I think they should go more of like the full art or, I don't know, other ways to do it. Because curling is just, no one likes curling cards. There is a way to fix them. You can get little, what are called the humidifiers or dehumidifier packages that people put in certain foods or like cigar boxes that helps with humidity. If you're in an area like mine, you want to actually add humidity. So we buy like the 70 ones, and they do get rid of curling. And if you're in some place like Florida that is heavy on the humidity, you get the dehumidifier little packets that absorb them. And that's what gets the... And I believe this is how it is. If you're in a low humidity environment, it curls outward. And if you're in a heavy humidity, it curls inward. That's apparently the... word on the street. But we have fixed cards before by using that little trick. But there you have it. That's what you get here. I'm not a big fan of this product. I think those are, I don't know, unless these are incredibly rare, which according to eBay and TCG Player, they might look like they were. All right, we'll go on to the first pack here. And the first pack, we'll kind of go through these a little bit quicker with the Piglet and the Winnie the Pooh and the Minnie Mouse, because we're starting to see most of these cards. If anything like stands out, I'll just kind of, hey, pick a fight. That's what Kevin likes to do. Pick a fight with people. Yeah, that's right. Should be singing a song, though. Chosen character can challenge ready characters this turn. That's kind of cool. That's actually kind of cool. You can challenge a ready character. That's basically like a removal. That's a really cool card, actually. Daisy Duck. Whenever you this character quests, each opponent chooses and discards a card. And we have the Cogsworth. We've seen that. And the King Louis. Whenever another character is banished, you move up to 2 damage counters from this character. Okay, he's pretty good. Little weak body on him, though. Weak power. Huge body, weak power. But he's got a big 7-drop. And Basil, which has the shift. If you use shift to play this character, you may draw 2 cards when there's play. So, good little way to shift in and get some card advantage. Yeah, pretty cool card. And then we have Mulan, which has the support ability. And we get another piece of the art. We're actually 3 for 3 for different arts. We are getting close to completing. And next up we have Snow White, which we've seen, as well as Elsa and the Lady Tremaine. When you play this character, each opponent with more lore than you loses the lore. So way to get rid of the lore. Verana. Whoa! Buttons! Why'd you do that? As Buttons knocks the camera over. We have Verana, which is a 5/5 for 5. And hopefully my camera is okay there. And then we have Jasmine, which is a fast little character come out when you play the character. Remove up to 1 damage from a chosen character yours. Okay, this is kind of cool in the... Now this is in the Sapphire. So with being able to remove damage. So I don't know if Sapphire... Did Sapphire have someone before? I think they had cards that wanted to remove damage. And that's why you used it with Amber. So I don't know. Are they breaking color pies in this deck? Or in this game already? Or am I just misleading? 1/2 for 1. Kind of comes out weird. We have Tiana again. We have Gaston. Gaston, the great singer. And my phone is ringing off the hook. I didn't turn it off because I am bad at this game. We have Pinocchio with the shift 3. Whenever you play this character, you may return chosen character or item with cost 3 to their hand. And so it's a good way to shift through and get some value. And yeah, chosen character or item. So a character or item with ETBs is going to work well with. And then we have the Queen of Hearts, a 2/2 for 2 with Rush. And the Cinderella. And good old Singer, a fast Singer, a 1/2 Singer for 1. As well as Pete, the bad guy. Whenever you play this action, this character gets +2. And whenever this character has 7 or more power, it gets +2 lore. So it wants to like play an action, play action quest for 4. Which isn't, unfeasible in this game. It does come out late when your hands are a little bit dry. And we got a Merlin. Do we see this Merlin? I think so. This is the foil that comes in the regular thing. So this is funny. Yeah, it is. It's the exact same one that comes in the starter decks. So that's what our foil is. Pretty cool card though. And we get the first duplicate. Let's go a little bit quicker here to see if I have to call a person back. Might be important. Gotta love my job. We got the Mulan and the Chip and another Mulan with Rush and an Arthur. Kind of generic. The Basil with the support. So that's how we're going to be able to shift into it. It's got a little support thing, a 2/2 for 2. And it can be shifted in. We got the body on Naveen. The Prince That Never Gives Up with the Bodyguard. We've seen that one. The Pain. The Binding Contract. Seen that one already. And Miss Judson. Whenever you play a Floodborn character, you may put the top card of your deck into your Inkwell face down. So another Ramper. This is typically what Sapphire is good at. And then we have Rhea. We have a shift 4, so it's a way to shift into this earlier. And whenever this character challenges a damage character, she takes no damage. And our foil is the Legend of the Sword in the Stone, which is a song, and a character gains +3 challenge. And I don't think we have this one yet, so we've almost completed our little thing here. All right, so let's get to these other ones real quick here. We got Rapunzel. Rapunzel. Let your hair down. Remove up to 2 damage from a chosen character with a tap ability. That's actually pretty good. A renewable just exert ability to remove damage from stuff. You got a quick little challenger, like a 1-drop. There's a 2/2. Starts challenging. And then you can heal it every time. It can start knocking things out like crazy. We have an evasive Dr. Facilier. We have Fidget. Not to be confused with a Fidget Spinner. With evasive. A Panic. We got James. We have a Magic Broom, which is whenever you play a character, chosen character gets resist 1. Caterpillar. Last Stand. Yep, I really like that card. The Minnie Mouse was evasive. Banish this item, return the chosen character to your hand. Pretty cool card with the Perplexing. And we got Scars. We did get another of the gold rarity. With Rush, so it can challenge when it comes out. It's a huge 7-drop. And during your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you may ready this character. He can't quest for the rest of the turn. Weird. So you can... Okay. I get it. So it can challenge a bunch of stuff. So it just can't quest. You can, during your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you may ready this character, and then it can either use a tap ability, sing a song, or challenge again. So not too terrible. And let the Storm Rage on, which is a song, deal 2 damage to a chosen character and draw a card. You just can't ink it, is the thing. But this is actually pretty good. So it's just like a replacement for like the cannon shot here, because you at least get to draw a card. Oh yeah, that is good, because even if you don't need to, if you can't kill someone off, you can actually, dish some damage to it, and then maybe finish it off later with like a Tinkerbell. So that's a really cool card with Let the Storm Rage on. There you go. All right, so let's get on to the last but not least. This is the packs. This is what the bundle looks like in the Floodborn Illumineer's Trove, and these boxes are a little bit sturdy. I mean, they start to wear down. You got the 2 deck boxes that you can make, but we are just, this one's going to be Mulan and whoever that is, and I don't know who that is, and Gaston. We like Gaston, as I'm not even showing people who they are with the deck boxes. There you have it with the Floodborns. And got little lore counters you can pop out, but we are not interested in any of that. We are interested, I think this shows all the cards in here too. This is like what Pokemon does. Magic used to do that, and then they got super cheap because Magic the Gathering is a terrible company ran by terrible people that want to skimp out on everything and charge the consumer as much as possible for the least amount they can give. Anyway, we'll complain about Magic another day. Let's get on to these last packs, and then we will hopefully get some booster boxes in later on to open up. I hope you guys are enjoying this content for Lorcana. Let me know in the comment section how well you are liking the game. If you think it will last the test of time. We've seen the Madam Nim out of a starter deck. We got Yzma, a shift 4, and whenever you play this character, shuffle another character card into their player's deck. That player draws 2 cards. That's a pretty good way of getting rid of a problematic threat. Or you can do your own characters that have good ETB effects and then draw cards. We have the Queen, which is choose and discard a character card and gain lore equal to discard character's lore ability. So this one's actually really cool with those like lore 3s, lore 4s, or anything that has like high lore cast. Maybe there's like a lore 4. Actually, this is in a color that is known for having good lore. You can't lore itself, but then you can just discard and immediately gain it. Wow, that is quick with the Queen. So I actually kind of like that. I mean, it is using a card out of your hand though, but it can actually... Maybe that is kind of a trap. Who knows? And maybe there will be decks that work off discarding cards. If so, then you'll definitely start gaining some value there. We got the Elsa and the Lady, Rana, Jasmine, Mulan, the Magic Broom. We've seen all these before. The Cheshire Cat, 4 dozen eggs, Snow White, the Dragon Gem. Return a character card with support from your discard to your hand for just an item. Wow, that is a powerful card. It does cost 3 to use, but it is a grindy card for sure if you do go the support route. And we have Ratigan, the very large mouse. And whenever you play this character, exert chosen opposing character with 3 or less. Choose one of your characters and ready them. They can't quest, but then you can challenge that down, which is pretty good with Ratigan. And we have a Tiana as our foil. Okay, on it to the next card. Or next whatever. We have Chip the Teacup, and Mulan, and Arthur, Basil, Rapunzel, Donald Duck, kind of vanilla stats on Donald, and the Blue Fairy, rewarding good deeds, so 1/1 for 2, and whenever you play a Floodborn character, you may draw a card. Whenever you play a Floodborn character, you may draw a card. Now, there are ones that do say Floodborn. That's how you have to find, yep, Storyborn, Dreamborn. You need to find one that says Floodborn, but that is insane. Whenever you play a Floodborn character, draw a card. You just never do anything with this. They can't be challenged. You just stick it out, and you start just drawing cards. I don't know. I like this card a lot. So we have this Sword in the Stone. Chosen character is +1 for each 1 damage on them with an item. We have Paka. Huge body on Paka. Kronk with the Resist. I think we've seen this one. During your turn, when the character banishes another character to challenge, you may deal 2 damage to the chosen character. And the Pack Tactics, gain 1 lore for each damage character opponents have in play. So this is a really cool ability with Tinkerbell that just puts, or pick up your sword, or grab your sword, I think is what it's called. So you put a bunch of damage counters on stuff, then you actually play the Pack Tactics and gain a ton of lore. We have the Mother Gruffle. This character enters the play with 3 damage counters on it. Okay, and that's a way to, I guess, maybe heal it. I don't know, it's a 3/4. Something out of that. There's some sort of ability that you can get with that. Alrighty, on to the next pack. We have a good old Merlin and Go the Distance. That's what we all want to do is go the distance. Ready chosen damage characters. Ready chosen damage characters. They can't quest for the rest of the turn. Draw a card. Okay, sometimes you get some synergy right there with things coming into play with damage. You go the distance by singing it. You ready the card that you sung with this. You draw a card. You ready other stuff. Pretty cool. The Erratigan, the Criminal Master. Evasive. Only characters with evasive can challenge this character for a 4/1. The Gumblebot. Remove 1 damage from up to 2 chosen characters. The Queen. We've seen the Queen. We've seen Beast. We've seen Cogsworth. We've seen Doc. We've seen Madam Mim. Merlin. We've seen Merlin. Get another rare Merlin. And got our second Basil, the Great Mouse Detective. And the world's greatest criminal mind. So, action song. Banish a character 5 or more. So, again, it's kind of weird because it comes out off curve. But you can lure it if it's early and then use it if it's later. So that's actually not too terrible. And we have 4 packs to go. As I get my DNA on the cards for Garrett. I'm sure you do want my DNA on your cards. We have the Entrepreneur. The Bond. Bond? I don't know. I don't know how half of these cards are from. We've seen Varana, we've seen Cruella de Vil, we've seen Sleepy, Benja, The Sword in the Stone, Paka, Tiana, Strength of a Raging Fire. It is a song, and deal damage to a chosen character to the number of characters you have in play. That's kind of a cool little... They added a lot of removal already. So situation removal, of course, it is going to require situations, but that's just kind of cool at Lorcana. If it's not a situation, just put it in Inkerwell. And then we have Little John, who's definitely not little. A 6/6 for 6, so it's the Colossal Dreadmaw. So you want a Colossal Dreadmaw in this set? You got it, Little John. Then we have Belle, which is while an opponent has no cards in their hand, this character gets +2. Lore. Okay, so if it really punishes them for emptying their hand because then Belle can lore like crazy. We have 3 packs to go. Good luck, Mr. Garito Burrito, Fairy Godmother, and what did you call me? What did you call me? Gaston. We got another Gaston. While 1 or more characters have no cards in hand, this is +3. Opponents have no cards in hand. Then we have Rabbit and Sneezy and Tiana and the Blue Fairy. Yeah, that is so... Another one is you play a Floodborn... No, this is the one where you play a Floodborn character, you draw. It's so good. So good. With the 4 dozen eggs again. And just a generic 7/7 for 7. 7/7/7/7. Lucky 7s. Cinderella with resist. And whenever you play a song, this character can may challenge ready characters this turn. So that's pretty good. It's pretty good at singing. And then it can challenge readied characters. So pretty cool. And then we have the good old Warder again. So Cinderella's pretty good card there. All right. Second to last pack. And I'm stuck opening packs for Garrett and Tigger and Donald Duck. We got the Owl. We got the Hold Still again. We have Jafar, Queen of Hearts, Robin Hood. Just deals a damage. Yeah, I can start pinging stuff off too. That's kind of cool. So screw you, evasive characters. We have Robin Hood that can snipe you down. The Catch Your Chat. We have Miss Judson, which whenever you play a Floodborn character, you may put the top card of your deck in your Inkwell face down exerted. Again, it really works off Floodborn characters, though. I have to actually go back and look and see which ones are Floodborn and which ones are... A lot of Storybone. Just Storybone. We've seen this one before, and we've seen the Tiana. It's a Dreamborn. So where are we finding all these Floodborns? I wasn't even looking for, like, Storyborns, Dreamborn, Action, Storybone, Floodborn. Okay, so there are some Floodborns in here. But they are... You'd really have to... They're rare. Storyborn, Dreamborn, Story, Floodborn. Are they all going to be like mythics? Or high rarities? That's the ones that I'm seeing. There's not like any... I'll have to check through again. I wasn't even checking creature types with Floodborn. There's not a lot of them. I mean, is there some sort of lore with Floodborn that I just didn't even... Yeah, I'm looking at some of these rares over here too. They're Floodborn. We'll look at this pack too to kind of go through the last pack here. Hope everyone's enjoyed this video and my commentary is useful for how little I know about this game. Yep, Storyborn here, Dreamborn, Storyborn, an action, Storyborn. Whenever you play this character in Elite's play again, 1 lore. Yep, Storyborn, Action. We have the Gruesome and Grim. A character with cost 3 or more can sing it. Okay, play a character cost 4 or less for free. They gain Rush. So it just ramps it out a little bit earlier, and you can sing it to ramp out earlier. And so you can get a big play on your turn 4. And we have the Cheshire Cat, which is a Floodborn. Okay, so most of these Floodborns are in the rarity slot. And it has Evasive and Banish Chosen Damaged Character with the Cheshire Cat. It is an 8-drop, though. So it can be shifted out, but it is a massive 8-drop. So kind of cool with the Cheshire Chat. And we have the Strength, the Raging Fire again. So cool cards again. Lorcana is knocking out of the park with synergy and the brewing ability of it. Again, it's a little bit lacking for me, but I guess that's not bad because it is a lot less intimidating for new players to pick up this game, learn the mechanics, and play, and not be like kind of plagued by the complexity of the stack. I have seen a lot of Magic can be very intimidating with new players playing with players that know what they're doing because of kind of the complex interactions of the stack. And I think Lorcana, without that and without those really cumbersome timings, which happens in Magic, is a lot more approachable. So to each his own that way. The game, I think, is going to have legs. This set, to me, looks pretty good with the game design and the synergies. They've really done a good job. Not reinventing the wheel. They've taken a lot of mechanics that have already existed in Magic and just kind of thrown them over. A lot of like archetypes, a lot of ways to like. I've even seen this kind of like sacrifice type strategy they're starting to bring in. The items are jiving really well in this. I think everything is coming together pretty good with this second set. So if that's a pretty good thumbs up for me for Lorcana. Again, might not be my cup of tea as much as some of the other games I've played, but I can't say anything like bad about this game as far as like it has a place in the collectible card game space for sure. And I don't think it's going to be pushed out anytime soon by other games. So, and what I'm really hoping that this does have like kind of the Hearthstone effect. What I like about that is that people get kind of bored of the lack of complexity, and then they move over to Magic, and this is exactly... Wouldn't that be funny that Lorcana is what saves Magic? Because like I've talked about in other videos, I think the biggest problem with Magic is that it's really suffering from an aging demographic of people who have played this game for a long time, and they're not getting new blood. They're not getting new blood into playing Magic the Gathering. And so wouldn't that be just like kind of hilarious that Lorcana is the thing that then acts as an entry level to Magic, to where then people like Pokemon did that for a while. Like I still convert a lot of Pokemon players to Magic, but I still think there's a big distinction between people that want to play Pokemon and people who want to play Magic. This one seems like Magic Light and is just like teasing people to, there's other, start with Lorcana and then come over to the more complex games. So maybe this is a good thing. Maybe I'll be a lot less... I don't think I've really ever been negative towards Lorcana. I've been negative to the hyping of it. I mean, there shouldn't be Black Lotus prices for cards. Like, the collectible aspect of this game is insane. There are so many unknowns of how they're going to print this thing, that people are just going crazy. Like I said, these suckers going for like $200 on TC Player for these collectors things, and they're probably not that rare. Anyway, another discussion for another day. Hope you enjoyed this video. This has been Kevin with Gonro Games. Thanks for watching.